So let's revisit one of well, they're all important, but one of the key aspects of the Eightfold Path. We can quibble over which of the Eightfold Path are more important, but they're all important and they all interact, they all support each other. But that said, I think right effort is foundational to all of the Buddha's teachings and practices. With right effort, without right effort, rather, we just sit around sort of navel gazing, doing little to nothing to implement the Buddha's teachings, maybe talk about them, but really not make good use of them. And it is with right effort that we just really discover, really dig into the brilliance and the power of his teachings. It's right with right effort that the teachings really come alive in our lives and in our world. Otherwise we don't experience the freedom in our lives that the Buddha promised if we follow his path. And we engage with our lives with effort, with right effort. We see the quality and the vitality of our effort, the purpose for which we apply it, and the source that motivates it. Now, that said, right effort is not putting our noses to the grindstone. It's not just, toughing it out, grinding it out. Yes, it is effort, but it comes with ease. We want to approach it with a sense of ease. It includes freeing us from the attachments which cause us so much suffering. A primary intention of right effort is to free us from those attachments. It comes from skillful management of our ego, especially in including our self-absorption and our self-centeredness. It also comes from cultivating compassion for ourselves and others, from loving kindness, from wisdom. We begin to see right effort and how it nourishes us in both body and mind. One of the things I really like about right effort is it brings a certain openness and curiosity to our experience, and that we mindfully examine what arises in us rather than just functioning blindly on autopilot. When we mindfully examine what arises, then we can use right effort to engage with life in a skillful way. With right effort, we tame our reactivity. We cease functioning on autopilot. We avoid becoming lazy and complacent about our lives and our response to the world in which we live, which is really the definition of autopilot. Culturally, and especially in the West, we just aren't taught, we aren't trained, we aren't raised to pay attention to our inner lives. Western culture is primarily about living on the surface of our lives. It's primarily about the sort of superficial outward appearances and so forth. But we pay such a huge cost, both individually and as a society, for ignoring such a huge part of our experience, our inner experience. As we become aware of our moods and emotions, and engage with them skillfully, what Pat Coffey calls our internal weather system, this helps us create a calm, steady, and balanced exertion. We have a steady resolve. That's the nature of right effort. We remind ourselves in all situations, it's like this now. At this moment, this is what's going on. It brings about clarity of our experience. It keeps us undistracted by other external pulls and tugs on us. So we implement right effort with a steadiness, with a persistence, but with ease. It's not white knuckling it. It's not driven by force. It's not driven by will. Too much effort, too much that kind of intention undermines right effort. It's like Sisyphus pushing the rock up the hill. You remember the myth, the Greek myth, in which Sisyphus was condemned by the gods to roll a boulder up a hill for eternity for his unskillful behavior. In his case, for his murderous behavior. So that's not right effort. That's just pushing the rock up the hill for eternity. And if we look to the fables, we are the tortoise, not the hare. We're not trying to win the race by speed. We're steady as you go. Right action means that our actions are not frenetic, they're not driven. Rather, they are deliberate and thoughtful. We feel vibrant inside when we're engaging in right effort, free of the sort of unnecessary stress that is so often the result of ego motivated choices. You know, the ego is really, again, something that has to be managed, and right effort is an important way of doing that. And when we do that, we experience an aliveness free from clinging, much of the clinging anyway, that causes us suffering. And with right effort, we bring wisdom and discernment to what's in front of us to avoid doing what is harmful and unskillful. Now, that all said, let me be clear that both right effort require energy, but unskillful effort requires energy too. It's the quality of the energy that is as different as night and day between right effort and unskillful effort. And we only need to go to our bodies, here we go again, to discern the difference. You know, one feels unskillful effort typically feels agitating, it feels unpleasant, it feels kind of nagging and gnawing. We can feel it if we tune in there. Whereas right effort feels freeing, it often feels joyful, it often inspires us. There's a freedom that comes with it. So peaceful effort, wholesome effort, persistent effort, steady effort, nourishing effort, joyful effort, liberating effort. All these are possible when we set out to engage with what the Buddha called right effort of the Eightfold Path. And when we discover right effort, our efforts become our refuge. They become where we find freedom. This is so important to the path. And even better, with right effort, we become a refuge for others. You know, we are open to others. We are open to showing them compassion, showing them support, showing them empathy. So in a world where so much harm exists, so much suffering exists, a commitment to right effort is a gift that we can give to ourselves and to the world at large. Again, with ease and with a certain freedom that comes with it. So that's right effort. One of my favorite of the Eightfold Path, although I think they're all great. I just think it's foundational. I just think it has to sort of be in place for the others to be realized. So let me stop there.